Hey, everybody, super excited to dive into the subscription economy with a true innovator and leader in the space at Recurly. Lina, how are you?
Good. How are you? It's nice to see you.
Yes, thanks so much for joining. Fascinating topic and really intrigued by the business model of the subscription economy. Before that, maybe introduce yourself and who is Recurly?
Yeah. My name's Lina Tonk. I'm CMO, Chief Marketing Officer here at Recurly. And, Recurly has been around for a little while now, a bit more noticeable in the last few years, but we're in subscription management. We are how leading brands grow subscription revenue. So we just recently went a rebrand, and it's an exciting space to be within the subscription market. It's a fast, mature, moving space. So we love it. We Within our team, we've seen so much change just in the last year. So we're thrilled to be part of it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Let's talk about the rebrand and why rebrand was necessary. Maybe set the scene. What is the subscription space? What's driving it these days? Where do you fit? And tell us a little bit about the rebranding.
Yeah, so a few things about rebranding. Number one, as a team, we felt that, at some point everybody starts sounding the same, and we're all kind of sounding the same. We, as a company, also we had to just kind of really dig deep and understand really what the value was for our customers. So really digging deep into what is our brand, what is the value that we're providing, and is it our brand providing that answer? So we went through this whole process of rebranding on trying to understand our customers before anything. And we realized that the brand that we currently had wasn't doing that. I do believe that, with times as business grow, their maturity within their brand has to grow. And we had probably not done a lot of that. We've grown tremendously in the last couple of years. This year has been a tremendous year of growth for us. So it was just the right timing. The way I see our brand today is like we sound a little different, or I would say very different. We look very yellow, but we are, the personality of the brand really attaches to the way we talk to our customers, the value we provide to our customers. So we're pioneering, we're lively, we're trustworthy, we want to be refreshing. So it's exciting to see that as the market mature, our brand mature along the way. And yeah, it's an exciting time to be at Recurly.
It is indeed. And let's talk about the market, kind of big picture for a moment. We've seen the shift from one-time software licenses to subscriptions over the past decade. That's only accelerated. But what are the changes are driving this move to subscriptions? And what do you see? What are the key trends that you're tracking?
Yeah, look, when we look at subscriptions, that's not where everybody went, right? Like now when we look at it is you have companies, really any market, trying to tap into subscriptions because it is providing an additional revenue stream. And it's not only providing that revenue stream, but it just becomes a predictable revenue stream that you have access to. So we see a little bit of everything. We see also SaaS companies going into subscription models because it actually gives them this advantage of being like closer to their customers or their subscribers or the loyalty and what they're doing with them. But all in all, what we see every single day is the way I call them, especially after being new in subscriptions for a year, is I feel like we have the subscription natives, people that have done subscriptions forever. So I think when we think of that, we think of the Netflixes, the Paramount Plus, and all of them. But then you think of the newbies, the ones that are tapping into subscriptions, and what does that look like for them, and what is the opportunity for them? And it opens up that not just the revenue stream. When I talk to these customers, it's just not what it comes from revenue, but it's the intimacy that you bring into having those customers so closely with you. I truly believe that subscription will grow so much in the next couple of years. We see it by experience every single day where we have companies that never been into subscriptions. They hire one person and they say, you go tap into subscriptions and say what's happening with you. Those are the newbies. And it is exciting for us to have that opportunity to guide them. Our new brand talks a lot about that, is us being pioneers, us being able, we've been in this business for a while. We know how to guide the way. When you have those that have been in subscriptions for a while, but then now they're running into all the challenges of growth or global growth, and where do they go from there? So we love working with those as well. And there's tremendous brands that have been with us for a while. Paramount Plus is a good example. Just recently, we work really closely. Another example is Newly, Alaska Airlines, how they tapped into, completely broke the mold on revenue streams, on being very, very creative on when it comes to subscriptions.
Wow. So this is not just a SaaS proposition. They're really interesting companies taking advantage of this. And talk about what that means from a benefit or value standpoint. Obviously, you have loyalty building. You have unique insights you can build with customers, ways you can deliver product in new ways. What are some of the other many advantages you're seeing from the subscription model?
Yeah, the number one is kind of like I said, when you think of it, if I'm in a business, I'm going to think, what kind of revenue is it providing me? It's probably how some of these businesses look at it. But just right next to it is the intimacy that comes with being right close to your customers. And those customers being able to provide subscribing experiences. We're seeing that there's just because it has taken off so much, there's just so many trends about behaviors and subscriptions, behaviors on us just as subscribers. We behave completely different than we behave as subscribers before the pandemic. And the pandemic hit, and we were all in streaming and doing subscription things. And then we come to today where it has matured so much or advanced so much. So I think that's the number one thing, is that intimacy and closeness that you get with your customers, where you're actually able to understand where they're going, where they're growing, where the next step is for them, so that you can get some answers for them and get them ahead. So I think it's endless. The possibilities actually with subscriptions are endless. There's no short of challenges as well as they mature so fast, but the possibilities are endless. Revenue and customer experience are probably, for me, the top ones.
Amazing. So you mentioned challenges. Let's touch on those. What are some of the biggest challenges when adopting recurring revenue models when it comes to retention, churn? How do you address some of those challenges?
Yeah, so I think number one, probably like I was mentioning, is probably if you come in new to subscription, that's a big challenge alone. Is you want a partner that is going to be able to guide the way, that has enough data within the system, that is at least managing enough transactions through the system, trends, and data that actually allows that partner to provide the guidance that you need if you're new into subscriptions. On the other hand, if you're large, you've done this for a while, you need a partner that has that same volume to be able to guide that way for them as they think of the next level of growth. So you're looking at two complete different, almost, they might be the same persona, but in this scheme of how big they are, it's completely different. To me, that's a challenge. One that we have been here able to answer through the brand. But I think also when we think of churn, look, we just closed on our event series. We stopped in Austin, we were in London, we were in Amsterdam, in New York with our customers, and there was not one customer that did not want to talk about churn. And one of the things that we talk very closely about churn is, and when we think of voluntary churn, for example, someone that is actively choosing to cancel their subscription, and how they go about that. Like, how are they able to predict and be able to engage and be able to see the trends of how this is happening? What they're seeing is that a lot of this, the easiest you make them for them to pause and cancel, and you probably see the law that came out, like we have to make it easy to pause and cancel. We come from something too, it's very interesting, because you you are able to actually prevent some of that churn. People that cancel easier are more likely to return back to you. But then when we think of voluntary churn and people that are leaving on their own, we're seeing a bunch of investment on personalization. As the customer, you have to be able to really tell what your subscriber is starting to do, what their behavior, how long have they been calm or not engaged, or what of the marketing tactics that you put out there they're not taking on, to be able to really predict what's happening. So personalization is another big one. So voluntary churn, big. Another big one that I would say continues to come up is payments. So failed payments can make up for between 20 to 40% of a business or churn rate. Look, I speak to a lot of brands where they're just getting ready to grow and they want to grow internationally or globally. And we're going to tap into LATAM, we're going to tap into EMEA, we're going to go APAC. And payments look so different wherever you go, and behaviors on payments are so different wherever you go. But also, you have to make sure that your technology provides enough flexibility and accuracy on payments for people to stay with you. Because failed payments, you're out. And then you lose it, and then you didn't get to review that behavior from that subscriber. So I think there's a lot more to come on that when it comes to when we look at the future of subscriptions. We just got to make it easier for our customers.
Absolutely. You're making it easier. And that entire back office is very complicated operationally. I mean, you have things like fraud and taxes, and
Right.
you mentioned global expansion. I mean, is that something Recurly helps with, that whole back end as well?
100%. Yeah. And I think it's one of the many. I don't think we win one of our events without touching on global expansion, because I think everybody's trying to do it. And the ones that are already out there actively global, they're trying to grow it. So then when you actually, what you just said, taxes, compliance is completely different. And being able to address those behind the scenes with your system is absolutely critical.
Oh, absolutely. We're hearing a lot about something called composable commerce in the subscription world. Maybe help me with the definition. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but what does it mean for brands and the way they build out their tech stack?
Yes, so we're seeing a lot of that in our end too. What we're saying, we're answering a lot of that is, as brands come together, they're trying to bring things together to answer to all the needs that they have in front of them. I was actually in a session with a customer specifically where we said we're just going to have a composable moment here where we're building some of their global goals ahead. And one of the things that they wanted to do is just kind of bring it all together and see, okay, with what Recurly is doing for me, what else am I going to need in order to be able to answer for this? So I think it's because of the challenges and the challenges mentioned, but the challenges to me are like tremendous opportunities. It's what we're seeing on subscriptions, being able to bring together all the things and the components of what you need to actually get to that goal, or wherever you're going. If you're going global, if you want to grow to the next level, if you want to provide a different type of subscription, that's what it does. And I think it's the future of subscriptions.
Yeah, and it's an exciting time. So as we head into the busy holidays, it's make or break for retailers and e-commerce players. What are you excited about as we head into the season, as it were, and early next year? All the big industry events, albeit NRF, for example, and big retail tech event. But what are you and the team really excited about as we head into 2025?
Yeah, so I think there's so much. I mean, I will be remiss to like not mention AI. We're very excited about our AI capabilities, and just recently we talked about we went out and talked about our ability to have AI powered growth at Recurly, and we introduced Recurly Compass in Q4, and we will go all out in Q1. And it's really what it is a suite of driven tools that act as an extension of our team. So anyone that has Recurly has the ability to see ahead, see the trends. It provides them recommendations. So when I was talking about like those things that you're not able to see, and when you're not able to connect, you have the ability to start seeing ahead. Oh, I'm churning on that way. So maybe, hey, you should be considering this campaign. And today, what else is everybody doing? And it has that dashboard that shows you the view of everyone. To be honest, that's not the only thing I'm excited about, but I've been fascinated by it because I'm a true believer that we all have to make room for AI, and when it's done right, I think it can just provide such power to us humans if we do it right. And I think Recurly Compass has that ability to do that. When we were testing some of it, I was sitting next to a customer and we started bringing all his data, and it was so cool to watch where he was like, well, but for that type of group of customers, what type of campaign should I have? And it will give them like all the options of, you should do this, but if you do this, when you get here faster, and here are the trends of what others are doing. So I'm excited about that. And there's a few things on the marketing side from Recurly's perspective we're excited about. I talked a little bit about those events we just came back, but we will be releasing. So I'm going to tell you first, but it will be coming up on our LinkedIn pretty soon. But we have What's Next event series coming all over the world. We will go globally almost every month. We will be somewhere where we're bringing our customers and future customers together to talk about subscriptions and, just kind of get together and learn more from each other. So I'm really excited about that as well.
Wow, so much to be excited about. Congrats on the successful rebrand and onwards and upwards in 2025. What an amazing proposition for your customers. Thanks, Lina, for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And thanks, everyone, for listening, watching, and sharing. And stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.